94.57. Sitting in today is Todd Veinotte.
Joining me for a conversation is Nova Scotia's Immigration Minister, Lena Metlege Diab. Minister, thanks for doing this today. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Todd.
Okay, I wanted to talk to you about what's gone on in Lebanon, but before I do that, I'd certainly be remiss if I didn't ask your opinion or what you've thought of the Premier's sudden announcement yesterday that he's stepping down. What are your thoughts?
Sure, Todd. It's been an honor and a privilege for me to serve under the leadership of Stephen since 2013. He is a man who first and foremost loves this province. He's a man of integrity who has always put the interest of Nova Scotians first. And for me, what really stuck out is he always wanted to do the right thing. As a caucus member, as you may recall, we had the most diverse caucus in this province's history. He always listened and respected each member's diverse, and I tell you, opinion. As a cabinet minister, what can I tell you? He trusted and put his faith in me when he named me the very first female attorney general. So it was him who set immigration as a priority during our 2013 campaign and gave me a strong mandate to pursue it. And I tell you, I'm so pleased with the progress. We are a much stronger and prouder Nova Scotia because of him. We have more work to do, and I know he's going to still be the Premier for a number of months to come. So, and I look forward to what's happening. I'm very happy for him on a personal side. 17 years in public service. I get it. I've now been doing it for 7.5. So I'm very happy for him and for calling his daughter and for his son and for Andrea. And I wish him all the best from the bottom of my heart.
All right. What do you tell people? There's all kinds of speculation out there that as to what perhaps there's more to this than what he has told us. What's your message to people who are speculating about all of this?
Well, people are people, and we're born to speculate, I guess. But my training is law, and I'm a lawyer, and I like to work with facts and figures and and what's here and what's now. And the Premier had a very heart chat with all of us as caucus members yesterday morning, and he did the same with the media. And if those who haven't heard it should tune into it. I'm pretty sure it was live streamed with the media, and what the Premier said is what the Premier said.
Okay, what are your thoughts on the leadership race? First of all, do you have any interest in it?
Listen, Todd, this news was, be honest, it was shocking yesterday morning. I personally have had a very sad week. And devastating week.
We're going to talk about that.
And we're going to talk about that. And we also had a funeral in my community. A death of a loved one, a 48-year-old, officer, terrible cancer, and the funeral was also yesterday. So, it's been a sad week for me.
Okay.
So, we need a few days here to adjust to all this that's going on.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, that rescue team searching the rubble of Beirut's port for bodies nearly 3 days after this massive explosion sent that wave of destruction through Lebanon's capital. There's a pretty prominent large Lebanese community throughout the Maritimes, but particularly here in Halifax, right?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
There is.
And what's your connection with all of that? Just let everybody know.
With the Lebanese in Halifax,
sure.
Of course, obviously I'm of Lebanese origin. I actually grew up in Lebanon. And so, I write the language. I know the country. I returned back with my family in 1976 because of the war. We had to, leave by ship at the time to Cyprus, and been there a number of times since. Actually, last year we were there with Premier McNeil, and I was there as a cabinet minister, and that was really the biggest honor to return back with the Premier of this province, so we can see the beauty of its people and the country, and so much that we have to offer. And so this is all devastating for us. I still have cousins there, and I actually spoke to my first cousin who works in Beirut, who witnessed the whole incident, even though he was miles away. He was in his workspace, and his first explosion building shook, but they didn't understand. They thought it was a bomb. By the time the second one happened, of course, everything was shattered. Buildings destructed, neighborhoods, the explosion was in shock. He was actually a little bit hurt, but the toxic gas in the air was such that they told everybody who was still alive and around to evacuate. So he left. He's gone to our village where I come from. But the situation in Beirut is apocalyptic. It's a tragedy. It's shocking. It has never happened before. Remember, and maybe you don't, but we do in our history. Beirut has been destroyed and rebuilt many times in our history, but it has never seen this capacity. We've got many dead, thousands injured, hundreds of thousands that are homeless. Yeah. Our hospitals are over capacity. Victims are being treated in parking lots. And residents are still looking for missing people. He told me on the phone, subsequently I saw in media, first explosion occurred, of course our firefighters went in, whatever, and then the second one. And of course, they all disappeared, right? So, yeah, a tremendous loss of people, tremendous loss of, there's no words to express. And so, yeah, people are suffering, and, put that with the global pandemic that's happening, and Lebanon has been affected by COVID-19 for sure. And we also have an economic and political strife happening in the country. So this is a country that has had its share. And this one really topped it all now.
Okay, so
explosion is massive.
So the Canadian government is supporting with $5 million. What's your thoughts on the humanitarian or the response from the government so far? And do you feel that the province of Nova Scotia, to my knowledge, hasn't committed to supporting any of this? But what are your thoughts on that so far? So
as a province, we work with Canada, with our federal government because it's an international, so we will be working with the federal government, of course, on the immigration issue as well, or on what's happening there. I do know that they've signaled they're going to open the embassy over there and have some staff trying to support people, so we'll find out what's happening with that situation in terms of what's happening there. But again, I'm pleased with what Canada is offered. And look, the Prime Minister has said, and so did his minister responsible there, Madame Beauvais, I think. So money is good, and we are there to see what else needs to be done. I'm also pleased with the international community coming together. I know France's President Macron was there in Beirut yesterday. And that tells you that this tragedy is going to affect everybody worldwide. Lebanese diaspora is all over the globe. This is unprecedented. It's after the Hiroshima, the atomic bomb that leveled Hiroshima and so on. And we as Haligonians, of course, can still remember the Halifax explosion of 1917. I know I've attended many commemoration ceremonies for that, and we're still feeling those tragedies generations, it's over 100 years ago. So this is significant, and it is developing situation, and we are going to be looking to see how we can help. I know our churches here are doing vigils because we are people of faith, and our community pulls together in time of sorrow and grief, and also in time of joy. Our Lady of Lebanon has a mass planned, service planned on Sunday. I know St. Antonius has had vigils, but we believe in prayer and healing, and coming together to support each other, but also money aid, supplies. So I'm pleased of Canada's contribution. We will look to see what else we can do here as a community. I know the Red Cross in Lebanon is also, if any of your listeners would like to give aid, I would give it to the Lebanon Red Cross there. That is doing tremendous work on the ground. And to reach out, I guess, I think that is the best way. Just make sure that if people are giving, they know and they trust that it's going to the Red Cross. This is a developing situation. This is not easy, and there will be more to come.
Minister Diab, I appreciate your time. Sorry for your loss and a tough week indeed, and we'll chat again. Thank you so much.
Merci, Todd. Merci à vous.
All right, take care. Immigration Minister Lena Metlege Diab, and of course the blast shredded a large grain silo, devastating the neighborhood near the port, apparently caused by the ignition of over 2,700 tons of ammonium nitrate that had been stored at that port since 2013. The government has launched an investigation as many Lebanese blame the catastrophe on negligence and corruption. And I'm even hearing about aid that's going to be flowing into the region that many people or many groups want to distribute that aid, and there's a battle going on against concerning that front as well. So just devastating for the Lebanese community there, certainly, and here in our region as well. And a thanks to the minister for taking some time to chat with us in a difficult week. Tim Houston, leader of the PC party, the opposition, when we come back.